Welcome to Trendverse by Uzma Amin, your destination for the latest trends in AI, online earning, blogging, finance, technology, and future skills. If you want to stay ahead, learn smarter, and grow faster in the digital world, you're in the right place. Subscribe to join our growing community. Like and share to support valuable content. Turn on notifications so you never miss what's next. Let's learn, earn, and grow together.
What if you could turn that time you spent on the couch, just scrolling on your phone, into actual cash, just by playing games? It sounds a little too good to be true, doesn't it? Well, today, we're going to dig into a platform that claims to make that exact thing a reality.
So let's just get right down to it. Can you genuinely make money just for testing out new mobile games? That is the big question we're tackling in this explainer. And we're going to find out by taking a close look at a company called PlaytestCloud.
The promise that really caught my attention is this: earning around $9 for just 15 minutes of playing a game? I mean, come on, that sounds amazing. So, is it the real deal or is there a catch? Let's investigate. Okay, but before we get into the dollars and cents, let's figure out what this company actually is. What in the world is PlaytestCloud, and where do they fit into the whole gaming industry?
Think of it like a bridge between game makers and game players. See, developers are dying to know what real people think of their games before they launch them to millions. They need to know things like, is this game even fun? Is level 5 way too hard? Do people get what they're supposed to do? And you, the tester, you're the one who gives them that crucial first-hand feedback.
All right, so how does this whole thing actually work? Let's dive into the process and see what it takes to go from just being a regular gamer to someone who gets paid to do it. You know, getting started is surprisingly simple. First, you just create an account. No big deal. Then you do a quick qualification test. It's not hard. They just want to see that you can follow directions. Once you pass that, boom, you're an official tester. From there, you just sit back and wait for those email invitations for new game tests to show up. Okay, listen up, because this is the most important part of the whole gig. You're not just playing a game quietly. Your main job is to think out loud. You have to talk through everything you're doing and feeling as you play. Your screen and your voice are being recorded, so the developers want to hear you say stuff like, "Whoa, this part is awesome," or, "Ugh, I have no idea what this button is supposed to do." It gives them a direct window right into your brain. All right, let's talk about the part you've all been waiting for: the money. How much can you actually make? How do you get paid? And what's the real story behind that $9 promise? So the payout for each test is actually pretty decent. We're talking a typical payment of around $9 for a test that takes maybe 15, 20 minutes, and it gets sent right to your PayPal. If you did the math for an hourly rate, that's really, really good. But, and this is a big but, there's a catch. And here it is. This is not a consistent job, not even close. You won't be getting tests every day, or even every week. The reality is you might only get a couple of invitations a month. So yeah, while the pay per test is good, the frequency of those tests is pretty low. This is definitely not something you can rely on for regular income. And this chart here, it helps explain why those tests can be so few and far between. It all depends on where you live. Game developers are usually targeting very specific audiences. As you can see, about 3/4 of the tests are aimed at players in the US, Canada, and Europe. So if you live somewhere else, the invitations are probably going to be even more sporadic. So, after looking at the promise, the process, and the reality of the pay, what's the final verdict here? Is PlaytestCloud actually worth your time? Let's just break it down side by side. On the one hand, the pros: it's super easy to sign up, it's fun work, you're playing games, and it is a totally legit platform. But on the other hand, the cons: the number of tests is really limited, it is absolutely not a full-time income, and you might find yourself waiting for weeks just for one test. And that really brings us to the bottom line, the key takeaway here. PlaytestCloud is the real deal, it's not a scam. But you have to think of it in the right way. It is only a side earning opportunity. It's a fun way to make a little extra spending money here and there, and that's it. So, at the end of the day, the decision is really up to you. If you love playing new games and the idea of earning a few extra bucks for just saying what you think sounds cool, then hey, this could be perfect for you. So the real question to ask yourself is this: is this particular side hustle worth your screen time?